In the heart of Africa, a nation bleeds, not from a single wound, but from 1,000 cuts, inflicted by a forced union meant to endure. This is the story of Nigeria, a giant built on false foundations, now straining beneath the weight of its own contradictions. And at the center of that storm stands the unbroken spirit of Biafra, crying out for freedom from millions. It began with the rivers of blood in 1966. Thousands of Biafran men, women and children, professionals, trade students and families who had built lives across the Federation, became targets in the northern city, fueled by ethnic hatred and religious hostility. Mobs descended upon innocent civilians. They were slaughtered in their homes in crowded markets, and the boat trains carrying bodies back to the east. Streets were littered with bodies, rivers took to its corpses. Survivors returned to the east carrying trauma, grief, and the painful realization that they were no longer wanted in the Nigerian Biafra, Biafra, voice of truth and freedom. Biafra, Biafra, the rising sun will rise again. Then came May 30th, 1967, a desperate act of survival. What followed were 30 months of unimaginable devastation. The Nigerian military, armed and backed by foreign powers, including Britain, Russia and Egypt, surrounded the young republic. A blockade was imposed, no food, no medicine, no escape. Starvation became a weapon of war. 5 million, mostly civilians, many of them killed during what was not just a conflict but genocide against Biafra. Bombs fell on markets, hospitals and villages. Communities were razed. The world watched in silence while famine hollowed the faces of innocent children. Some nations spoke out, but many turned away. The war officially ended in paper in 1970 under the declaration, no victor, no vanquished. Yet for Biafrans, the suffering did not end. Their properties were confiscated, courage destroyed. Biafrans were given only 20 pounds regardless of how much they had. Entire families struggled to rebuild shattered lives. The promise of reintegration faded into disappointment. Marginalization deepened in Nigerian government appointments. Infrastructure and control of resources from Biafran land. Oil flowing from the Biafra land enriched the center, while much of the east remained neglected. Roads deteriorated, industries collapsed. Biafra! In the heart of Africa, a nation bleeds, not from a single, but from 1,000 cuts, inflicted by a forced union never meant to endure. This is the story of Nigeria, a giant built on false foundations, now straining beneath the weight of its own contradictions. And at the center of that storm stands the unbroken spirit of Biafra, crying out for freedom from a nightmare that has consumed millions. It began with the rivers of blood in 1960. 1966. Biafran men, women and children, professionals, traders, students and families who had built lives across the Federation became targets in the northern city, fueled by ethnic hatred and religious arms descended upon innocent civilians. They were slaughtered in their homes, in crowded markets, littered with bodies, rivers choked with corpses. Survivors returned to the east carrying trauma, realization that they were no longer wanted in the Nigerian. Sun will rise again. Then came May 30th, 1967. A desperate act of survival. What followed were 30 months of unimaginable devastation. The Nigerian military foreign powers, including Britain Republic. A total blockade was imposed. No food, no medicine, no escape. Starvation became a weapon of war. 5 million, mostly so many of them children, perished during what was not just a conflict but genocide against Biafra. Bombs fell on markets, hospitals and villages. Communities were razed. The world watched in silence while famine hollowed the faces of innocent children. Some nations spoke out, but many turned away. The war officially ended in paper in 1970 under the declaration. No victor, no vanquished, yet for Biafrans the suffering did not end. Their properties were confiscated, courage destroyed. Biafrans were given only 20 pounds regardless of how much they had. Entire families struggled to rebuild shattered lives. Self-reintegration fade to disappointment. Marginalization deepened in Nigeria. To the 1914 British amalgamation, distinct ethnic nations, religion, traditions, ideologies, and systems of governance were merged without consent and without a shared national vision. The North's feudal and religious conservatism can never blend with the South's entrepreneurial drive. And the East's individualism attempts to hold the Union together continue to be at the cost of innocent blood. Why does Biafra matter?
Biafra means self-determination.
Biafra represents dignity, survival, and the right of the people to life and choose their future.
Biafra
symbolizes resistance, innovation, enterprise, and hope. The vision is of a nation with secure borders, focused development, protection of its citizens, and economic engagement with the world, a future free from oppression, fear, and perpetual military force or federal quota system, but a peaceful separation based on shared values and voluntary association. History shows that artificial unions often fracture violently, while honest separation can allow wounded nations to recover.
Biafra is not dead.
Because the desire for freedom cannot be extinguished. Like corruption, insecurity, poverty, and division are proof that one structure cannot hold people with dangerous diversities together. For the million already lost, for the children born.
Biafra,
Biafra is non-negotiable. Let Africa remember that true unity cannot be sustained by force. The world must listen before more lives.
Biafra,
Biafra lives, freedom calls. God bless Biafra. God bless the land of the rising sun. God bless Biafra Republic, government in exile, led by Prime Minister His Excellency Okichu, for standing tall in the pursuit of Biafra independence. Biafra, Biafra.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me, Biafrans, wherever you are watching us from. Please like and share the link so that other people can join and watch as well. Other people can watch as well. Anywhere that you are watching us from, this is live and direct. So this is live and direct. Live and direct from our studios. Live. Oh my God. There are some mistakes here, and this is live and direct. From the platform or the questionnaire. This is the questionnaire platform. MAZI David. MAZI is coming to you live from our station, from our studio, from YouTube. And for those of you watching us from as well, you welcome as well. Share and share and share and share so that others can as well join us. Very, very important. Yes, very, very important. So, Good evening, depending on your location and your time. MAZI Osas. Osas, please share it on X. Share it on X as well. Share it on X. Thank you for joining me, Biafrans. Anywhere that you are listening from, we need to do what we need to do at this critical time of our restoration, at this critical time of our freedom. A lot is happening all over the world. While the world is focused on the World Cup, 2026 World Cup, Nigeria that did not go to the World Cup, a lot is happening all over the states in Nigeria. More importantly, the northern states in Nigeria are facing lots and lots of challenges. The southern states are also having their share of challenges as well. And why all these things are happening, a lot of people are still sleeping. Thank you so much, Mazi Osas. Thank you so much, Monday, for doing this. Why the North are being driven homes, why the terrorists are running riots in various states, in various communities. There are people that are in Biafran territories that are still not much, conversant, or they don't actually understand. The public government in exile, under the leadership of His Excellency Honorable Ogechukwu Nkere, you will agree with me that the government is not sleeping, the cabinet members are not sleeping, Biafrans are being updated on a daily basis, of what is actually playing out in Nigeria. The voice of Biafra is there live, 247. The voice of Biafran television is live 247, where you can as well, you go and get information of what is actually playing out in that evil contraption, in that part of the world. So if you want to get information of what is happening, make sure you listen to the voice of Biafra every night, 9 p.m. Biafran time. And as well, you have opportunity of asking questions as well, because our people see kwa mari bezia. A lot of people are not aware of the activities or what Brgie is doing in Washington, D.C. So that is why it is very, very important and very, very imperative that you make sure you follow the government handle where need be, okay? Or you can as well visit the Biafran Republic Government in Exile website, www.biafranrepublicgovernment.org. All will be in small letters. Go to that website and you will acquaint yourselves with the activities of Biafran government in exile. The Biafran government in exile is the government that is recognized. As I speak to you, the State Department, Washington, D.C. recognizes Biafran Republic government in exile as the only entity charged with that responsibility, looked upon to fight for the freedom of the Biafran people. This is the logo of the Biafran Republic government. So don't say you are not aware. This is the only government, government speak with government. American speaks with government. They deals with governmental representatives. They don't listen to groups. They don't discuss on individual basis. So we now talk government to government discussion, and Biafran Republic government in exile as the only recognized entity have our prime minister who is resident in Washington, D.C. in the United States of America, and is also a citizen. So he is at the forefront of the Biafran restoration project. And you all can also see the news that has always been trending about how the Nigerian government are fighting, to make sure that they detain the Biafran activists. Okay? Nigerian government are doing everything within their reach to see if they can do the same thing they did to MAZI and the KANU. The same thing they did to MAZI Simon Ekwanjoku. They also want to see if they can replicate it on Ogechukwu Nkere, who is the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile. So that is, they are fighting against our government, while the government is fighting to free the Biafran people. And you also understand that it is not only the Nigerian government that are fighting against the BRGIE government. There are also individuals. There are also persons. There are also groups, organizations that are also financed by the Nigerian government to also engage in nefarious activities against the Biafran government in exile. So that is why when you come online, you can see people calling the Prime Minister all manner of names. You can see them trying to destroy or trying to see how they can, destroy what our government is doing in Washington, D.C. They are not doing it by their own violation. They are not doing it by their own will. They are pressured to do it. They are paid to do it. So when you see anybody attacking government in exile, I want you to understand that that person is a paid agent, because you can't attack the man, the government that is actively involved trying to free you. It's a very wrong thing to do. So why the Biafran government in exile is engaged in the liberation of Biafra land. Individuals, there are Biafrans who are also fighting along with Nigeria to make sure that they fight against Biafran government. So what am I trying to say? For those of you who are seeing this video, you are seeing this face. And for those of you who are seeing this, station for the first time, please follow me on YouTube, Mazi David Nana, or you look for the questionnaire and subscribe to my channel. Okay, subscribe and follow me so that anytime I'm live, you get notification and you join in the broadcast. So the Biafran government is in charge of Biafran liberation at this time. We understand that the fight for Biafra had been ongoing for a very long time, even before most of us were born. And the reason why the fight has continued to, come up time without number is because the reason that led to the Nigerian Biafran War between 1967 to 1970 has not yet abated. The reason why a lot of our people died, a lot of our people are still dying till tomorrow. So in 1999, after the war, the Nigerian government pronouncement and telling the world that, oh, Biafra has been defeated, and people were so much afraid to talk about the war. They were so much afraid to talk about Biafra. But in 1999, Wazirike took up that challenge. Wazirike was bold, fearless, and courageous. He took it upon himself once again to reawaken the spirit of Biafra. Wazirike came up again in order to let our people understand that Biafra is still very much alive and Biafra is still very much active. So when Wazirike took up that challenge and that responsibility through movement for the actualization of Biafra, MASOB, a lot of people also followed Wazirike, but unfortunately on the wayside, because of what is actually happening and what Nigeria is all about, Wazirike eventually could not succeed. And because Biafra is an ordained project, in 2012, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, was born. And he took up where Wazirike stopped. And in 2021, despite in 2015 to 17, Nigerian government tried to eliminate him, incarcerated him, and all the rest of it. But eventually in 2021, when they could not silence, when they could not, prevent him from, speaking out, Nigerian government down the consequences to Kenya and kidnapped MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. And he is suffering that kidnap up to today. The same 2021, another Biafran took up that responsibility and took up that challenge, MAZI Simon Ekwanjoko. And the Nigerian government never rests. They have not rested and they never rest until they are subdued. So they made sure through the European Union, they pressured Finland to also cage MAZI Simon Ekpa in 2024 on the 18th of November, before the restoration of the declaration of the independent state of Biafra in Lahti, Finland. So Simon Ekpa was detained. But before Simon Ekpa was detained, Biafran government in exile has been reactivated or was born in Helsinki, Finland, 2023. So you see, Biafra has come to stay. And the freedom for our people is non-negotiable. Biafra is non-negotiable. And that is why nobody can kill that spirit of Biafra. And that is why we have been fighting. We will continue to fight until we get to our destination or we get to our finishing line. So today, we will continue to talk to our people. And that is why I am here once again. I'm here once again to remind our people that we have a responsibility. We have a big task in our hands. Anywhere that you are all around the world, you have a responsibility to your people. We have a responsibility to our people. And that responsibility is to make sure that we join hands together and fight for the freedom of this, our people. Very, very, very important. It is our responsibility. And we must do that. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu IPOB is no longer in charge of Biafran freedom. The rising sun is not in charge of the Biafran freedom. Avid American veterans of Igbo descent, they are not in charge of the Biafran freedom. The ambassadors, they are not in charge of the Biafran freedom. Neither is USB in charge of the Biafran freedom, or BGC is in charge of the Biafran freedom. It is only the Biafran Republic government in exile that is recognized for the freedom of the Biafran people. Only the Biafran Republic government in exile that is charged with that responsibility. America recognizes BRGIE as the only entity for Biafran freedom. So this is the government that belongs to each and every one of us. This is our government. And it is this government that America recognizes. So whatever the BRGIE government is doing is what America recognizes. Is what America focuses on. And it is what America is relying on. So each and every one of us, anywhere that you are watching from, I want you to know that we have a government that all of us need to come together and support this government so that this government will succeed. Because the government is fighting for each and every one of us. Okay? The Prime Minister, MAZI Nkere, is the Prime Minister for everybody. Okay? Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere is representing Biafrans. He's not representing himself. Whatever he goes to Washington to do is for the interest of the over 80 million who are scattered all over the world. So if you don't support this government, it means you don't support your freedom. There is no two ways about that. If you don't support BRGIE, it means you don't support your freedom. It means you are against our freedom. It means you don't want the freedom of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. It means you don't want the freedom of MAZI Simon Ekpa. So when you go to the website of Brgie, www.Biafran Republic Government in Exile, you can be able to get information about this government so that you will be educated, you will know why you must support this government. So we need to come together. We need to be united under Biafran government in exile. Even the Prime Minister, Ogechukwu Nkere, have called for unity of purpose. Every group, irrespective of where you belong to. You can be in Aba, you can be in Onitsha, you can be in Bayelsa, you can be in Sokoto, you can be in Jos, you can be in Plateau, you can be in Kwara State, and support the central government, which is Brgie. In other words, you can be in your group. But having in mind that America is not going to work with your group, rather, America has already expressed their interest, in fact, have recognized Biafran government in exile. So, while you are working for the interest of the Biafran people in your group, you can join forces, you can support the Biafran government in exile to make sure that our prime minister and the lobbyists that we have in Washington, D.C., they do their work diligently. The lobbying effort is not easy. Lobbying Congress, lobbying senators, lobbying the presidency of America is something that requires time, requires money, requires commitment, and requires focus on the part of those who are at the forefront of the political engagement. So Mazi Ogechukwu Nkere is in charge of the Biafran government in Ezra as the prime minister. So he is the head of the government. So everybody needs to support him. It is not about him as an individual. It is about us as a people. It is about what we want. It is about the freedom that we have been, we have yearned for a very long time. So we need to come together. We don't need to fight against the government that is fighting for you. It's just like people who don't really understand what is happening, or people who are, being, sponsored by the Nigerian government. You see them come, they start fighting the government that is trying to, free them out of their bondage. 1 minute. So sorry. So you see them fighting the government that is fighting for their freedom. Just a few months ago, last year, the prime minister had an explosive interview in congressional briefing, and he gave an explosive testimony on the reason why MAZI and the KANU must be released as Simon Ekwanjoko. All this came under the Biafran government in exile. 18th of September last year as well, the Biafran cabinet members had the first congressional briefing on Biafra in Washington, D.C. All this is for the freedom of our people. So why will you now come and start fighting the government that is creating awareness, the government that is, discussing with America or Washington, D.C., we can free ourselves out of Nigeria, unless you are comfortable with what is happening in Nigeria? Are you comfortable with what the presidency of Nigeria is doing? Are you comfortable with what Soludo, the governors, are doing? Hope Uzodimma? Are you comfortable? You are not, and you can never be. A few days ago, there is a news that came out that EFCC raided Orji. What's that name? What's that former governor of Abia State? Orji. Somebody Orji. I've forgotten this name. Please, if somebody remember. Orji, former governor of Abia State, and got millions and millions of dollars in his house. Over 200 cars, over 100 cars. Properties here and there. These are resources that are meant for the general public. These are resources that are meant for Abians. But these people don't have our interests at heart because they only are concerned for what they are going to get from the government. They don't care what the masses are suffering. You can see them siphoning, hoarding resources that are meant for everybody. Tell me how somebody can have millions and millions of dollars in his house, just pack it in his house. Why there are no roads, no water, no pipe, no electricity, no good road, no healthcare system. Absolutely. But there is resources to put all these things in place. But people prefer not to put them in place. They prefer to siphon the money. They prefer to dump the money somewhere. Money that they cannot finish in their lifetime. Why the masses are suffering. So if you are not comfortable with all these things, then that is the reason why we must support what the government of Brgie is doing to make sure that we are free out of Nigeria. So let us see what one video about Ozonna of Soludo. Soludo, there is a video that is trending, and I want you to listen to that because he's an activist. This guy, despite the fact that people don't like him, and because of how he comes into the limelight on social media and the kind of things he do. But if you really look deep into what this boy is doing, you will understand that he's sending a message out there, sending a very serious message so that people can as well know what is actually happening. In this video, he was not only sending message to our class, he's sending message to everyone that he wants to exempt himself from anything that you think that his parents or his father is participating in government. And I love it. I want us to listen to that. So if things are moving on, if somebody is a political office holder and is doing the needful, and the people are happy, music like this or songs like this cannot be trending. And people are so much happy with what is happening when these people that are committing all this kind of, who are in government but are not doing the needful, when they are being exposed, people are happy. So in this scenario, Soludo's son is dancing to a music that is also criticizing the actions and activities of his father while in government. So I want you to listen.
Tinubu, shame unto you. All power belong to Jesus. Shetima, shame unto you. All power belong to Jesus. Shame unto you. All power belong to Jesus. Cause we are Babylon, shame unto you. All power belong to Jesus. Yes, so we can shame unto you. All power belong to Jesus. Shame Kukumi, shame. All power belong to Jesus. Shame unto you. All power belong to Jesus. Shame unto you. All power belong to Jesus. Who's something man, shame unto you. All power belong to Jesus. Masoludo, shame unto you. All power belong to Jesus. 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 Shame unto you. All power belong to Jesus.
Oh my God, Hosanna is very, very funny. All power belongs to Jesus. Exactly. For those of you that are, not doing the right thing, those of you that are in government and you refuse to do the needful, this message is for every one of you. There is a time of reckoning for everyone. Whatever you do is what you are going to reap. Whatever you do is what you are going to reap. You are not doing anybody by not putting the resources for people to utilize. You are not doing anybody any good. You are not doing yourself any good, not even your family, when the resources that are meant for the general public, you are taking it yourself, you are embezzling it, and the people are suffering. That is the essence of this music. So, those of you who are, in one way or the other, supporting the evil that is happening in Nigeria, in our communities, a time will come when you will understand the atrocities that you have committed. You are going to pay for it. Very, very important. So we use this avenue to let our people rise up, to tell our people to rise up that a lot is actually happening in our land. And we need to come together. We need to come together and support the government that is creating this awareness in Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C., in Capitol Hill. Very, very important. There are people who are in uniforms. They say there are special forces in Biafra land. You see them, the Nigerian government gave them guns. The state government are sponsoring them. And you see these people carrying guns up and down. But when their activities are needed, you don't see them. When their activities are needed, you don't see them. And this is very, very sad. There are pictures that are making round here. Let me just show it here. You see. When the activities of all these people are needed, you don't see them. You don't see them. This is naked. This picture you see, or this picture that you see, is naked. What happened? The Fulani terrorists set fire on student hostels at Naked Owerri. And the people that are said they are special forces, the people that are carrying arms in Biafra land, you will not see them to come and confront all these terrorists in uniform. You see, this is the reason why we are saying we must come together as a people. Because the Fulanis have surrounded most of our communities. You can see Nekede. Nekede is not in a village. Oh. Nekede is in the city, in the town. But the terrorists can go there and set fire on the student hostel. And there are people who are carrying guns up and down. They say they are special forces. They say they are security. They say they are this, they are that. The only way you can see them when they are active is when they are harassing civilians. When they are harassing harmless civilians, but the Fulanis can come and kill and put fire on our various properties. And these people that say they are security special forces, you will not see them to come and act. You will not see them. And that is why we are telling you that it is very, very sad that instead of our people to come together and support the Biafran government in exile, you see them fighting against this government. It's very, very sad. I want to make it known to us that the Biafran government in exile, the Biafran Defense Forces, the Black Marines, the resistance fighters, the special forces, and the intelligence agencies are there for the betterment and for the protection of our territory. All these forces are under the Biafran in exile. And they have the capacity and the capability to defend the Biafran land against all these kind of incursions and all these kind of intruders coming into our land to cause mayhem and go unconfronted. But the problem that we have is that people who are supposed to support these special forces, these Biafran Defense Forces, are not doing the needful. Rather, they prefer to support the one that is sponsored by the government. And the one that is sponsored by the government are also working with those who are coming to fight against the Biafran Defense Forces. The ones that are working with the government, like the one that you see them wearing cap, they say they are special forces. You cannot see them going to confront these Fulanis. You cannot. But once you see the Biafran Defense Forces coming to confront these Fulanis, those who are wearing these special forces will now start attacking the Biafran Defense Forces. Every one of you know what happened between 2023, 2024, 2021, when Hope Uzodimma and Ebubagu were fighting the Biafran Defense Forces at Okigwe and Olu states. But the Fulanis will come. They will not go and confront them. That is the problem that we are having. And that is why we want our people to use their tongue and count their teeth and understand who are their real enemies. The Biafran government is there for the protection of our land. If all and sundry, if everybody can now come and join forces and support the Biafran government in exile, all these things that you see happening will not be happening in our communities. It cannot be happening in Nekede. But because you have been programmed, Nigeria have forced you, subdued you, put fear, intimidated you, harassed you to the extent that you cannot even associate yourself with your freedom. You cannot even be bold to talk about Biafra. You cannot be bold to say, I am a Biafra. I want to be free out of Nigeria. Because you believe or you think that when you talk Biafra, then you are the enemy of Nigeria. Even when you don't talk Biafra, you are still the enemy of Nigeria. When Fulani comes, they don't know who is Nigeria. They regard you as Inyamiri, they regard you as Biafra, whether you like it or not. So if these people regard you as Biafra, you are the one who don't regard yourself as Biafra because you are afraid. You are afraid to be called a Biafran. But look at the Fulanis are not afraid to call themselves Fulani. They are not afraid to even call themselves terrorists, bandits. You see and hear when Gumi defend the bandits, Gumi defend the terrorists, who all these people that are putting fire in the hostel. Gumi will defend them with everything that he has. Not only Gumi, the northern state governors, every one of them, the northern politicians, so the senators, or call it their local government chairman, you can even see them negotiating with the bandits. They are very free to negotiate, to speak, to talk with the bandits. But you are even very afraid to even use your mouth and pronounce Biafra. Hi. Onye mere ndị be anyị ha. You are very much afraid to use your mouth and talk about Biafra. But those who are coming to kill us use their own mouth to call themselves bandits. Their prodigal sons, they call them names. They call them names. Gumi even tell you that you should not kill them. They are looking for their daily bread. The people that are carrying AK-47, AK-49, they come and kill you and take over your land. Gumi will tell you that these people should not be killed, that they are defending their land. It is quite unfortunate. That we don't see all these things. We are afraid to fight for what rightfully belong to us. Are destroying what belongs to us. They are harassing and intimidating our people. And if we don't come together, they will continue to succeed. They are going to succeed. But if we come together as one, they will be afraid to attack us. They will be afraid to come to our communities. They will be afraid to engage in actions or activities that are dangerous to our people. Only if we come together. If we don't come together, they will continue to harass. They will continue to intimidate our people. They will continue to commit their atrocity, and nobody is going to hold them into account. But if we come together as a people, we are going to win. When they see that unity of purpose, when they see that we are united, we are focused on what we are fighting, you see that they are going to leave our communities. Very, very important. So we need to come together and fend off terrorists. See what is happening. We need to come together and fend off all these terrorists. These people that you see here, since April 2026, I think Christ Apostolic Church Crusade in Ado Oniyekiti, these people were taken. For how many months or how many months they have been in the custody of the terrorists. They recently regained their freedom. So this is the reason why we need to come together.
là mi mú ọwọ́ là fi mú wọn wọlé kò jẹ́ kán lo wíṣíà. Wọ́n ṣe dà.
You can see these are people who were kidnapped by the terrorists since on the 28th of April, May, June, 3 months. See how emaciated they look. See how malnourished they look. Because they have been in the custody of the terrorists who kidnapped them. These women that you see here have passed through a lot of pain. All of them here, none of them will be free from rape from all these terrorists. And this is the situation that awaits every community, every state in Biafra land if we don't come together and support this government of Biafra so that we can fend off all these kidnappers, all these people who are this kind of atrocity from coming to our land. We need to do this. We need unity of purpose to achieve this feat. And that is why we are using this medium to call on every Biafran, anywhere that you are, anywhere that you are listening from. We need to come together as one people. We need to join forces together and fight against this evil that the Fulanis have brought to us, the terrorists have brought to us. We need to come together. We have a government. We have an army. We need the resources. The resources that we need is your support to the government, both financial support and moral support. Because people go to kidnap, they don't only go with machete, they go with machine guns, they go with arms and ammunitions, they go with all manner of sophisticated weapons, because it is those weapons that will make you to be afraid, that will put fear in you. You have to follow them because your life will be in their hands. So the Biafran Defense Forces need to have the same equal measure of all these arms and ammunition that they have in order to repel any attack in our communities, in our land. So it is a wake-up call to Biafrans in the homeland, in diaspora, anywhere that you are. More importantly, those of you in Ground Zero, those of you in Biafran land, you need to be proactive. You need to come on board and support activities and actions that is going to repel and pursue these terrorists out of our land, so that our women and children do not face all this kind of situation. They don't face this kind of situation in our land. You can imagine, assuming that this happened in your community, and your father or your mother or your sister was among those that have been kidnapped. in the bush for complete 3 months. The terrorists will be using the gears because they have to use them. They use them. You saw videos online. When they use them against their way, there is nothing you can do. You can imagine your sister, your mother, your relation in such a situation. You are helpless before them. You are helpless. We cannot allow this to happen in our land. That is why we are calling on every Biafran. Come and support Biafran government in exile. Go to our website. This is the government I'm talking about. Go to our website and support this government. Go to our website and support this government, or you can put a call across and somebody will respond to you. Or you come to Voice of Biafra and find out how you can support, or you DM me. There are ways of supporting your freedom so that your land, our women and children will all be protected. Very, very important. So, having said that, I will draw the curtain here. I want to appreciate every one of you that joined me in this short broadcast. Very, very important. I want to appreciate every one of you. And like I said before, continue to support the Biafran government in exile. If you have not been supporting, try and pledge your support with the government, because the government is actively working positively for our freedom. I'm MAZI David, reaching you from my location. Thank you so much for being part of this program. And I want you to know that our freedom is in our hands. If we want to be free, it is our reach to be free out of Nigeria. If we want free, it is our responsibility. It is within our reach. It's not beyond us to be free out of Nigeria. We have to be determined. We have to be focused and support our government so that we can be free. Very, very important. Okay? Very, very, very important. So having said that, let us draw the curtain from here. So I still remember as David Ngozi, and see you next time. I want to appreciate our cabinet members of the Biafran government in exile for what they are doing. I want to appreciate our Prime Minister, His Excellency Honorable Ogechukwu Nkere. I want to appreciate our lobbyist, MAZI Elias Jarasoris, our attorney, Amanda Berry, and I want to appreciate my information minister, MAZI Sonny Akparawa, and my fellow comrades of the Biafran Republic government in exile. I appreciate every one of you. Continue to do the needful, and I want to appreciate all that support government for what it's doing for our freedom. I want you to know that the gods and goddesses of our land will continue to be with you, and make sure that you never run dry. So thank you so much, and good night from here.
Biafra, crying out for freedom from a nightmare that has millions. It began with the rivers of blood in 1966. Thousands of Biafran men, women and children, professionals, traders, students and families who had built lives across the Federation became targets in the northern city, fueled by ethnic hatred and religious hostility. Mobs descended descended upon innocent civilians. They were slaughtered in their homes, in crowded markets, and aboard trains carrying desperate families back to the east. Streets were littered with bodies, rivers choked with corpses. Survivors returned to the east, carrying trauma, grief, and the painful realization that they were no longer wanted in the Nigerian Union.
Biafra, Biafra,
Voice of truth and freedom.
Biafra, Biafra,
The rising sun will rise again. Then came May 30th, 1967. A desperate act of survival. What followed were 30 months of unimaginable devastation. The Nigerian military, armed and backed by foreign powers, including Britain, Russia, and Egypt, surrounded the young republic. A total blockade was imposed. No food, no medicine, no escape. Starvation became a weapon of war. 5 million, mostly civilians, many of them children, perished during what was not just a conflict but genocide against Biafra. Bombs fell on markets, hospitals and villages. Communities were razed. The world watched in silence while famine hollowed the faces of innocent children. Some nations spoke out, but many turned away. The war officially ended in paper in 1970 under the declaration. No victor, no vanquished, yet for Biafrans the suffering did not end. Their properties were confiscated, careers destroyed. Biafrans were given only 20 pounds regardless of how much they had. Entire families struggled to rebuild shattered lives. The promise of reintegration faded into disappointment. Marginalization deepened in Nigerian government appointments. Infrastructure and control of resources from Biafran land. Oil flowing from the Biafra land enriched the center while much of the east remained neglected. Roads deteriorated, industries collapsed.
Biafra, Biafra,
Voice of truth and freedom. The rising sun will rise again. The nightmare did not disappear, rather it evolved. Across Nigeria today, violence and insecurity continue to devastate communities. Armed attacks by Fulani herdsmen, terrorists have left villages destroyed, farmers killed, women violated, children orphaned and churches burned. Boko Haram and its offshoots have unleashed terror across multiple regions in the southeast. Demands for Biafra and self-determination are often met with military crackdowns, arrests and bloodshed. Protesters have been